Here they come. They're looking for their 7th win of the season. If they can get over the Cats today, which is a big step up in class, then they've built a very good podium on which to launch a finals campaign.
Oh, there's a genuine home ground advantage here, Jared. There's no doubt about that. Forget the travel. The crowd that get behind you here, the support they get is enormous. Their midfield is back in form. We've talked about them for the last 15 to 20 minutes, and I think that it's the changing of the guard. Their back line now are a counter-attacking machine. They've got the best forward line in the competition in terms of scores for this season. But today is the big challenge against a bona fide top 5, top 6 team of last year. And you can see, Jared, this is the part of the ground that I really want to talk about. Pritis in the midfield, Duggan, who's an evolving player. You've got Sinclair, who's taking giant strides. Scotty Selwood back in there today. As we talk about the changing of the guard, I want to talk about Liam Duggan. Their first selection in last year's draft. He's become all class. He is all class.
So the Cats have got some firepower, but so too have the Eagles, David King.
Well, they certainly do, Anthony. They're the #1 attack in the competition in 2015, averaging 110 points, which is a great figure. If they can get somewhere near there today, they'll get the job done for sure. And it's Kennedy who leads the way again with 31 goals already. But they've got 5 players who've kicked 10-plus goals so far in 8 rounds of football, well on the way to that 20 to 25 that the good sides have. Big challenge today for the Cats to see if they can curtail that. It's
not just kicking goals, they're deadly accurate, Jared. I think they're going at 60%, which is the highest of any team in a long time. Kennedy 31-17, Hill 18-3, Lacroix 16-5, Cripps 16-7 and Shuey 11-3. So Indigenous round comes to its conclusion with this big clash between Geelong and the West Coast Eagles. The umpire goes down to start proceedings. So it's on already here at the main stadium. Wellingham, who's been one of those players redeployed this year. Gee, they're putting the pressure on early. Geelong, Mitch Clark wants to go his own way, and it looks pretty sweet as the kick spins towards goal, but doesn't hit the desired target.
Yeah, good defence by the Cats, though. They've slowed them down pretty quickly. It's going to be significant if they're to win this match to prevent the free-flowing ball movement of West Coast. Has been a feature of their play this year.
Wellingham to the wing. Lacroix and Gaff were his joint targets, and they collaborate well with Pritis. He got himself clear. Duggan happy to use Shuey and trying to advance some more. This is this handwork. It's so impressive by the Eagles. Duggan emerges on the forward of the 50, and Kennedy just inside the chalk.
It's an interesting start to the match.
Thurlow kicks in, had Taylor to aim at, which he did find nicely, and now Mackie to Blitzarves and Stanley. They finally work it out. Stanley, Hawkins is the long target. McGovern had the early read on it. Hawkins came late. He's just sort of a contest, but effectively had some resources on the inside, but back come the mitts of McGovern. He chops it off and kicks it to the wing. You're not coaching them anymore, Bomber, but you can still love them, I guess.
I love them all who kick goals like that.
Stanley gets it down. And now Selwood flicks the handball forward. Here's Johnson again. Rediscovered some form late last week. Hawkins made a contest. You can see they were circling the Eagles around. Can they get their dash going here, West Coast? Off half back. Scott Selwood hoping to lend a hand. Marston has been in the thick of it early. Kennedy's well up the ground to provide a link to the forward line. Being harassed all the way by Taylor without giving away the free, although the crowd would beg to differ. Hands it off to Lacroix. They quickly try and shut him down. Good effect on the kick. Reckless abandon as he flew for the ball. Thurlow giving it absolutely everything. Yeah, just the 1 goal so far after 10 minutes. Both teams have missed a chance. The Eagles' chance was much tougher. Here's McGuinness, gets a little shove from Lonergan. Well captured by Lacroix. So creative for Hill, and now Kennedy can come in, although he almost marked it. He got some strong physical contact just at the right time. Apparently as Buse kicks for Clark. Oh, he dropped it. McGovern was there, caught one high from Gregson. I didn't see either of them apparently.
With the way he leaps for the ball, but it's a pretty big talent that we're seeing slowly unfold.
Stanley trying to get out of a pickle. He does the thing he knows best, and that was just run as fast as he could. And it helped, even though it's going to come back. At least it just held things up for a moment. McGovern with a scrappy kick, but it ended up being perfect for Kennedy, who just keeps on coming at the footy.
Well, that was great modern-day footy, wasn't it? It was enormous pressure on the defence. Scrappy kick.
Turned it over.
The ball's lined up and then...
punished the turnover.
Exactly right.
That's where West Coast have been scoring pretty heavily on turnovers because of their structure and their pressure. And Yeah, poor Harry. Harry's one that won the ball in that bit of play, taking it out, and just couldn't get back to Kennedy.
Interesting strike from Kennedy. It just holds its line enough to go through for the Eagles first. Has kicked 9 goals in his 8 games, or 9th game now today. So the Cats back to a 9-point advantage. Blitzars overwhelmed by the numbers. Pritis back to Selwood of the Eagles. Marston with his 11th disposal. Wellingham also profiting here for the Eagles. Goes short. Sinclair.
That's significant, isn't it? And that's a, you know, if you go to 55-45 is a good result,
yep.
But to 65-35, it's massive.
Yep, it's the Cats in front by 7 points. Less scoring shots, more goals, and they're trying to put another one on now. Stanley almost threw it away. Shepherd boldly through for Cripps. And here's the handball again from the Eagles. Oh, Marston, a rare fumble. He's got Pritis to help him right the situation, which they do now. And now Gaff. And now for Motlop. And he decides to trot on. It's a long way home here at Subiaco, Domain Stadium. Travelling that outer side. Motlop again. Waits. Now he's off and ready to go and pounce. Not the best of kicks, it has to be said. An easy read for Butler. And now suddenly the West Coast defence can become attack in the blink of an eye. Jackson Nelson turned it over.
The thing about playing a game in the forward half is if it spends too much time in your defensive bit, the defensive half of the ground, you get tired, your defenders get tired, and it just wears you out. So you'll end up kicking the score.
Rivers left vulnerable one-on-one with Kennedy, and he was able to shrug him off and take the mark.
And that's exactly how it's unfolded, Bomber.
He had a couple of shots.
Yep. Coming in just 12 goals in 9 games against the Cats. But those sort of numbers look like they're about to change as he pinpoints that one through for his second.
And with a thud. Sometimes I think in crowds you've just got to take a shot of it if it appears. Don't try and get the perfect shot with a little handball.
Well, Cripps testing out the knee and worked pretty well for him there. And now had 18 more disposals. Their mids getting lots of numbers. Marston 17, Pritis and Gaff both on 12. Rivers in front. McGuinness followed up well. He was handcuffed for a moment, but got clear enough to get it to Marston. And then Lacroix, he's stuck in that corner at the moment. Oh, Kennedy finds himself on his own, and the ball coming to him.
Well, that time he didn't look, he just kicked it to the dangerous spot. Kennedy, such a smart player. He was floating forward, and he was in the right spot.
So Kennedy to put the Eagles in front for the second time today. And Kicky's 3rd goal. Kennedy with 3 goals. So, as we mentioned, such a crucial battle. Spiked out of the air by Nick Natanui, but Buse, the half-backs, were involved in the clearance. And the kick is clean to half-forward. Stevie J just misses Blitzarves. And that could be very costly. Shuey to Selwood to Gaff. The builders on again.
They're probably they look like the better team at the moment.
Well, it's been played in their half. The Cats just inside 50 on 1 occasion. And it's been all West Coast 8 occasions. Repeat entry after entry after entry.
Motlop demanding it from Enright. Not the perfect service. And it was a grabber and hard to handle. But look at the blistering pace charging through again. It was Lang working well, and they're inside 50. Gets through the cracks to Hawkins. He tries to push a couple out of the way, but Mitch McGovern, sturdy stuff. And Wellingham takes it back to half-back. Marston saw off Selwood. Thurlow's going to confront him here, but he can use Cripps. Decides instead to chip it along the line to Gaff.
McGuinness is free.
Cripps, and yes, McGuinness, here's the man. Just got to get enough on it. Taylor, can he turn around and cause trouble for McGuinness? He can, but it spelled danger for Harry because Kennedy was able to trap it, but now they've trapped him. To 4-1, you can see that's where all the action is. Oh, no one back as the goalkeeper, and Natanui shows them how to put it through.
No one up with him. There's so many people going up, 3rd man up in the ruck and everything else. One thing you do know, Natanui goes up in the ruck.
Oh, and look at that. Stylish down to Shuey. Can he break clear? He kicks it long, strong, and so almost straight. Another free kick from the ruck contest. going the West Coast way. Shuey, there's some indecision about that. It's a set-up handball, but he somehow got it back to Natanui, who kept them guessing. He chips it into the square. Sinclair!
He just made it look convincing.
Well, Prittis was the third up that time. To Selwood, to Natanui, who gave it out, but Caddy working in tandem with Selwood and Kelly again, and then back to Buse. The lead-up was Stanley, but centimetres makes such a big difference. Over his head, and pretty comfortable for Schofield, who used the presence of a couple of Eagles nearby to gain a couple of extra metres. Wellingham misses a target. Gaff has a metre. Can he use it? Takes it back outside. First of all, LaCroix and Kennedy. Well anticipated by Selwood. They get the ball moving quickly. Buse back to the wing. Hawkins well behind. Doesn't get to the contest. Clark gets it down. Gregson snapped it up beautifully through the middle. Johnson on the move. Again, it was a tough handball to execute. His follow-up tackle was great on Hearn, and he found a way to get it through, just prodding it to Kirsten. He was desperate to get it off there, Kirsten. Couldn't do it cleanly. It came to Kelly. He gets a nice little meet and greet there with Scott Selwood. The wrestle is on again. Selwood to Kelly. Precious seconds go past. Selwood hacks it. 7 seconds they need to mark the Cats. They won't get it. Mitch McGovern. So we'll get to half-time after an amazing quarter of football, amazing half of football, but that quarter the West Coast kicked 2 goals 11 to Geelong's 2 goals 1. They had 19 inside 50s to 5 David King.